Hi, this is Srinivas. Today I would like to discuss a grammar topic that is active and passive voice. Active and passive voice. This is very important topic to be discussed as a part of English grammar. This is part 1. Remaining all will be uploaded very soon. This voice is also divided into two parts. This is the first part 1. Later we will discuss the part 2 also. Let's have discussion. What is active and passive voice? Why we should use this voices? Generally voice means what? Voice means the action. Voice means the action. Generally in the active voice it tells about what is the subject is doing. What is the subject is doing. While in the passive form, in a passive voice, what it tells, you know, it tells about the how the action is done. How the action is done. Like the things we are going to discuss here. Okay. So why we should use the active voice? In order to give the importance to the subject, you must write in active voice. In order to give the emphasis or emphasize means here the force or importance to the object, then we have to use what? Passive form. Passive form. Like that, what is active and passive? Let us have discuss. This is active and passive, Let's have discuss the active. What is subject does? What is subject does? The passive is focus on this or action only. I told you before that the action. What is done to the object by the subject. Okay. So what is the action is done here given in the passive form. Here let us have a discussion. This is Ram killed Ravana. In this first sentence, this is active voice. The passive is Ravana was killed by Ram. Here the tense is same, the meaning also same, but the subject place object comes in a passive form. Here the subject is means the doer. Subject is doer and object means receiver. Object means receiver who receives that action. Okay, subject here in the active voice, the subject is doing something, okay, which affects on the object. The passive form, what object received by the subject is mentioned here. So here the more importance given to the action. What was done here? The killing. The action is given in a passive form. Like that, let's have a discussion of this voices more clearly. I'll elaborate discussions we can start. So elaborate discussion of this one. Let's have here Sindhu Babu likes English teacher. Who likes? Sindhu Babu. This is the subject. Okay, this is subject and the verb is like. Okay, verb is likes. Okay, this is verb and this is okay subject. Sindhu Babu subject. This is in active voice and English teacher is object. The same way, how can we change in a passive form? The subject place object, object place okay, subject place object, object place subject. Then verb like is changed into is liked. Be form of the verb plus V3. So first we have to remember one thing. When we are changing active to passive, some changes will be taken place. That is, the verb form always should be in a V3 while we are writing in passive form. How the changes taken places? How the changes taken place in a particular tenses? Let us have discussion of this topic. Now, if you take this example here, I like sweets. Which tense this is in? Simple present tense. Okay, I like sweets. This is I is subject here. I is subject, like verb and object is sweets. Okay, here the passive form, how can we write? The sweets are liked by me. In the same way, the pronoun, the change of pronoun is very important. How we can see? So here I changes into me, we changes into us in a passive form. You changes into you only, he, him, she, her, it and they, them. Like the changes we can observe while we are discussing active and passive form. In the same way, the verb forms. Let's have discussion about the verb forms and its changes. The how we can see the verb forms changes. If the verb is in V1 or V5 in a active voice, means simple present tense, then in the passive form we can find B form of the verb, means is, am, or according to the object numbers. Okay, in a passive form. For example, he likes sweets, means sweets are plural here object. Okay, so we have to write are. Okay, sweets are liked by me. The same way V2 form. V2 form means here we have to write Abhiram. Abhiram, okay, liked sweets. Sweets were liked by Abhiram. The same way Aishwarya will complete her homework. So her homework will be completed by Aishwarya. Okay, Aishwarya will do, okay, this work will be done by Aishwarya. So like these examples we can discuss in a simple present, simple past and simple future. In a active to passive, simply we can change. Like that, some more instructions to be followed while we discussing about active and passive form. Particularly here we have to see the voice. If I told before that also, okay, if in active voice if you find is or am or verb plus ing, that is in case of continuous tense. Which tense? Continuous. In a continuous tense, then the passive form is am or are plus being plus V3. V3 is common to every way. That we can find in active to passive form. That is in a active to passive form. In the same way, let's have discuss. Here is yes. Here we can see if the active voice in a past form was or were is there plus verb plus ing, then was were plus being plus V3 we can find in a passive form. Was or were in a active voice if you find in a sentence, then passive form was were being plus V3 we can write. The same way, see Abhi is reading a book, means reading a comic book. A comic book is being read by Abhi. Is being read by Abhi. This is simple continuous tense. This is in simple continuous tense. Let's have some more examples of past continuous tense. Past continuous tense. So like that, we told before that. In the same way, Karthik was watching Kartika Deepam. This is serial. Okay. How we can say in the passive form, Kartika Deepam was being watched by Karthik. That is past continuous tense. Whenever we find was or were in a active form, then in a passive form we have to change was were, was or were plus being plus V3. That is in a passive form. In the same way, Srinivas sir was teaching English grammar in the class. So how we can write? English grammar was being taught by Srinivas sir in the class. That is the passive form of past continuous tense. That is a passive form of past continuous tense. The same way, some more examples we have to discuss. We have to discuss here. Okay. Let's have some more examples as a part of this topic. Now, perfect tense. What tells about the perfect tense? The perfect tense tells about the action which has done just now. That can be changed into passive form. Present perfect tense. How we can change the present perfect tense into passive form? For example, have. I with have, we with have, you with have, he or she has, or it also has, and Akhil or some Ramu, or whenever we write the names of person, we have to write has. The names of two persons, then we have to write have. Like that, some changes. So here in active form, if you find has or have plus v3, has or have plus v3, then we have to find the passive form has, have plus been plus v3. The same way, Sivasar has written a letter, that is in active form. The passive form, a letter has been written by Sivasar. Okay, Rahul has sung a song. A song has been sung by Rahul. Okay, the same way, Kavya has eaten fruits. Fruits have been eaten by Kavya. That is in a passive form. Like that, some changes we have to find in active and passive voice. Active to passive voice. This is the part 1. This is part 1. And some more topics, means here only some more examples we will discuss later. But before that, let's have some examples. Okay, in a simple present tense, she delivers the letter, means the letter, she delivers the letters. In a passive form, the letters are delivered by her. Letters are delivered by her. She delivers the letter. This is active. The letters are delivered by her. So here, the in a passive form, object is not so important, so that our subject is not important. In that cases, we are not writing here. The letters are delivered. Only action is given. Importance or action is considered, not any subject or object. In the same way, past simple. She delivered the letter. Delivered past. Okay, simple past. Then the letters were delivered by her. The same way, future. She will deliver the letters. Letter will be delivered by her. And present continuous tense. She is delivering letter. The letters are being delivered by her. In the same way, past continuous tense. She was delivering letters. The letters were being delivered by her. In case if you find to, then passive form is, if you find in an active form to, then passive form we have to write to be. So that is very important. We have to learn. Whenever you find to in a passive form, we have to write to be plus v3. To be plus v3. So we have to write to be plus v3 in a passive form. That is the topic we have to know as a part of grammar discussions. The same way, whenever you find to, for example, she is going to deliver a letter. So how? The letter is going to be delivered by her. Means to, whenever used to in an active form, the passive form is to be plus v3 we can find. That is in a passive form. Okay, and in interrogative sentences, how can we change? That can be followed by another video. I will tell you. And some more examples, like if the sentence starts with auxiliary verbs, like is, or did. Okay, or in the same way, do, does, or did. Like that, sentences can be changed into another way. And interrogatory sentences, like interrogatory sentences means the sentences starting with who. Okay, starting with who. Like that, sentences can be discussed later on. Okay, have a nice day. In the next video, I will tell you about some details how to change active into passive, some more examples like modal verbs and so other sentences which are starting with let. Okay, how we can start. If the subject is not there, then how can we start? If there is no subject in a active voice, then we have to write with let. So like this, have a nice day.